Hey there world, welcome back to another video. I am the Gerbil. In today's vid, I want to show you my most recent run of 8 battles, 16.7 million damage. And the cool thing about this raid, and something I really do like about this raid, is that the strategy is transferable and replicatable at any tier of difficulty. It does not matter if you have a Relic 8 or a Gear 12. It's the same strategy. So even though you're gonna watch, like, if you stick with me, these vids, getting, 2.6 million here with Piett and plus, if you don't have a Relic 8 Piett, that's okay. You can emulate the strategy at the lower tiers and still achieve 70, 80, 90, 95% of your potential score at that tier level. So it's really great stuff. Let's get started, shall we? Oh, and real quick, before we get started, just FYI, I am flying to Hong Kong in 4 hours, and then I'll be staying the night there. Woohoo! Yay! Got a nice hotel. Looking forward to that. Then I'm going to head over to America to visit friends and family that I haven't seen in many months. So my videos and my channel may be sporadic. So if you are looking for the next video in the next couple days, it may be a week. I don't know. And we got the holidays coming up. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate, whether you celebrate or not, happy everything to you. Okay? Happy Hanukkah, everything. I wish you all the most wonderful winter. All right, let's get started. Okay, so here we go. First video, solo run Leia. Yeah, I know you've probably seen this a whole lot. I just want to go ahead and plug the folks over at the Discord server. There's a link all the way down below and one of their graphics. This is the graphic I've been using. I've seen various iterations of it. The turn order and the sequencing seems to be legit. It works super well. The modding advice I have struggled with. Every time I try to mod to reach all of the recommendations there, like 70% defense, 80% potency, 6,000 offense, 540 speed, when I try to go for all of those, I have not been successful. I have had absolutely zero success with that modding. What I did do, though, where I've had a 100% modding, again, the exact same turn sequencing, but I had to go with a critical chance triangle. In the infograph, they recommend on the triangle either offense or health. And my Leia is Relic 9, so maybe that made a difference. I don't know. But without that critical chance triangle, I failed every single time. I don't know, like, honestly, I have not taken the time to try to figure it out. So just FYI, I think this is definitely one of the best graphics out there. I know there are some other guides out there. Starkiller was one of the first solo Leia runs that I've seen. And Starkiller posted some great details in my Discord, and then it was also picked up by Scribe, who did a video about it, I think also following Starkiller's. But this is the one I've been using. So if you've got yourself that Relic 8 or 9, or any tier, honestly, GLA, you can totally solo this run. All right, so next up, we got Iden with Ewok Elder and Nisa. Now, again, you don't need a Relic 9 Ewok Elder, or 8. Well, you do if you want to go to the highest tier, but these strategies are repeatable at any tier. So this is the strategy I've been talking about since I really tried to analyze and break down this raid going back a couple weeks. I have like some incredible videos. Check them out if you really want to get geeky. But after 3 super in-depth analyses, and I made these big spreadsheets and everything, basically it came down to one fundamental strategy that you can repeat 7 times if you have the right Imperial Troopers, which I've been modding the heck out of for this. You basically want to spam evasive maneuvers and hasty repairs. That stacks up stacks of evasive maneuvers on your squad. Then you need 1 and only 1 Imperial Trooper on each squad with as much offense as you can to reach the thresholds of either 6 or 10,000 damage. The reason is because every time an Imperial Trooper uses a basic, they do normal basic damage, removing stacks of damage, plus X stacks, where X is the sum of all the evasion stacks you have in your team. So right now, I got 57 stacks of evasion on Nisa, I got 41 on Elder, now 45. So Iden is going to hit for about 110 damage right here. One shot and... Come on, do it, do it! Oh, I switched targets. Yeah, so this is... In this particular run, these are mostly not my highest scores. I just... Basically, I didn't have time this week, so I just put this not on auto, but just like on brain automatic and just, you know, spam buttons for the most part. Didn't put a lot of strategy into it. All of the scores I'm going to show here, I did previously achieve higher on. So I'm going to share this video, like each raid. I'll make a new one, and we'll see how we can go. My goal is to hit 20 million. Yay! I'm aiming for 20 million points, which I know in the top tier guilds, many of them have done that. So anyway, now we got 56 stacks of evade on Elder, and we got 78 over there on Nisa. This is the ideal situation where you've got tons and tons of these. Now check the enrage clock. We're at 95%. 95% means as soon as I kill either of these enemies, they are going to be enraged and then I will die. So what you want to do is not use Iden's basic until you've got the other trooper like that one right there down to enough stacks of damage that you can take them out in 2 more hits and try to maximize your end score. Why Ewok Elder? Ewok Elder, Sherpa, and Akbar are the 3 MVPs of this event, not including Leia. Akbar, Elder, and Sherpa all have both of the most important abilities. Hasty Repairs, which by itself gives you a lot of points. You just push the button, instant points, because you get points when you repair. And then Evasive Maneuvers. Those are both spreading out evasion over your team. So there we are, 2.6, basically 2 million. Now, I did the same squad last week, and I posted it in Discord. I got 2.692. I think it was 8,000 points from a perfect run. So yeah, it's great. Next run, Akbar, Han Solo, Piett. Same exact concept. Han Solo has evasive maneuvers. Akbar's an MVP. He's got evasive maneuvers. He's got hasty repairs. Now, why am I running Akbar lead and not Piett lead? Well, if you reach the 10,000 damage threshold, then you do maximum instances of damage, which is 20 on your basic. Your basic will take off 20 stacks of damage. If you don't hit that, the next threshold is 6,000 offense. And at 6,000 offense, you take away, I think it's 16 stacks. Over the long run, the difference between hitting for 16 and 20 on Piett is absolutely negligible when you figure he's going to be dealing basic damage plus stacks of evasion. See, we've already got, what's that, 26 and 38, 50, 64, and it's already going up, 78 stacks of evasion. It's going to keep going up. He's going to be hitting for 200 real soon, so it doesn't matter if his basic is hitting for 16 or 20. What does matter more is Akbar's leadership gives a 25 bonus speed to both him and the other rebel, in this case Han Solo, so you're going faster. And then he also grants some tenacity up on the whole team. Now, I don't recall right offhand, I think tenacity is the one where you don't lose stacks of evasion when you evade. I can't recall. I'd have to look that up. Maybe that's potency, but I think I'm pretty sure it's tenacity. So the tenacity, I find, though, is more valuable. So speed on 2 characters plus tenacity on the entire team, I find, is way more valuable than Piett merely pumping his own offense. Now, why does speed matter? A lot of people keep asking me this question. Why does speed matter? Okay, let's imagine. We're going to simplify this, okay? Every time you attack an enemy, you take off 1 stack, and they got 5 stacks. So you attack an enemy, pew, attack an enemy, pew, attack and pew, pew, pew. 5 hits, and they die. Cool. But the enemies can heal also. So if you are not faster, pew, 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 bad guy's turn, heal. Now suddenly you need 6 turns to kill him instead of 5. Right? So the more turns you can take, the faster you can kill the enemies before faster you can kill them, because then they don't take turns to heal. That also means you need less. That means your enrage doesn't trigger as fast, because if you can kill them in less turns, then the enrage clock doesn't tick up, right? Every time you take a turn, enrage goes up 0.5%. That doesn't sound like much, but oh boy, it is on those final waves where you really, really, really need to strategize the last 2 kills to make sure you can get them both. So if at the final wave, if you've got 10 turns that you can take versus 2 turns, it's really, really important. I mean, it has to. So you've got to strategize that. You got to time it. And again, speed is going to help you get there, right? You want maximum kills. You don't want the enemies healing. All right, battle number 3, Scout Trooper, Drogan, and Wicket. So Scout Trooper, I do put the Omicron on here, and 100% do believe that this is and I've actually seen it already. Someone shared in my Discord. I wish I could remember right offhand. I can't remember who it was. Oh, forgive me, viewer. I really do apologize. But the Drogan Cron, not the Drogan, the Scout Trooper Cron says that he does not lose his stacks of evade, because when the Imperial Troopers use their basic, they drop all their stacks of evade. They consume them, rather. So by not consuming them, you just ensure that your Scout Trooper starts hitting harder and harder and harder. Now, is it really worth it for the raid? No, I don't think so. I really don't believe that this is an Omicron that is essential to get a good score. You can 100% still get, I would say, 98% of the points without it. But what it does do is it enables you to run much quicker without a lot of strategy, and it actually enables the 2-person squad much easier because he's not losing his stacks. Speaking of the 2-person squads, why do so many people run 2-people squads? Why do so many different servers keep talking about it? The answer is because that just makes it easier on your roster. You don't have to farm as wide a roster. But the reality is, when you go in with a 2-person squad, you are giving away 20% of your score almost from the get-go. Whatever your potential was, you're going to lose about 20%. Because remember this, the trooper, they hit for X, where X is the sum of your evasion, right? So right now, if you can imagine, I don't have Wicket, and if that's not the Omicron, then the only evasion I have would be over there in Drogan. I'd hit for 40 plus basic. But because I have 2 characters stacking evasion, I'm hitting for 84 plus basic. Not 40, but 84 plus basic. You are doubling your damage. And remember, the faster you kill them, the less turns you take. So I've seen people say, yeah, but in a 2-person team, that 3rd person isn't taking a turn, so you're not raising your evasion. No, actually, go do the math. If I get to 150 stacks of evasion by spamming that evasive maneuver on that 3rd character, then eventually my Imperial Trooper is killing in one shot. Just boom, dead, boom, dead, boom, dead. Whereas in a 2-person team, it's going to take me twice as long. Hey, balloons. It's going to take me twice as long to get to that same level of damage. And think about it, twice as long to get there. That's more turns. I mean, you can actually do the math, and I've done it. A 2-person team is slower. It will do less damage. It will guarantee less points. But again, you don't have to go out as wide. You don't need as many characters. So I totally get that. But I love the Ewoks. Hi there, I'm peeking out. I'm here. Yeah. I'm just the neighbor. What was his name? Ted? Was it Ted? I can't remember. Tim Allen Toolman Show. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're not that old. But yeah, so 2-man teams are great for a narrow or younger account. In a mature account, they're just throwing away points, sincerely. All right, so Ewok, Chirpa lead, Logray, and then Death Trooper. Now, this is not an ideal team in the sense that neither Logray nor Death Trooper are able to increase, like they don't have evasive maneuvers. Logray has Jam the Comlink, which you basically want to avoid at all costs. Oh no, I lied. He does have evasive maneuvers. Excellent. Okay, I was wrong. But Chirpa's your MVP right there. You want to spam the hasty repairs. It's instant points, and then when hasty repairs is not available, you hit the evasive maneuvers. And then Death Trooper has no real gain opportunity of evasion, so he's not great. But I do like Death Trooper nonetheless because he's in my Iden squad, and I'm in Kyber 2. I'm like constantly 1 or 2 battles away from Kyber 1. I just wish I could win them back to back. And last, not today, but 2 days ago, my Iden squad, Iden, Death Trooper, Scout Trooper, got 4 holds, and today it's already got 2 holds. So, you know, for people who say like Iden has no like in-game value, I'm like, totally 100% disagree on that. You just have to make sure you mod Iden with like insane potency if you can, so that when your GAC opponent throws Wampa at it, you do land the stun. If you get that stun on Wampa, you know, the troopers will be eating good dinner. I mean, meat's back on the table, right? So I really, really like my Iden squad. Not to mention, Iden herself is one of the best pilots in the game with the TIE Defender. Yep, absolutely one of the best pilots in the game. So you cannot go wrong by gearing up your Iden. Scout Trooper is a great addition to that team, and no matter what, Iden is just a solid team. If you don't even put it on defense, run it on offense. So anyway, MVP, hasty repairs, evasive maneuvers, Chirpa. Now also, Chirpa's leadership is, again, better than the offense bonus you might get out of a Piett or a Starck Starck or whatever, because every time an Ewok uses a basic, they're going to gain 20% turn meter, so again, speed. And then your non-Ewok allies will gain 10% turn meter, speed, and that speed is essential. So your Death Trooper or your Veers or whoever you run over there, they are going to be a little bit faster. All right, Tebow, Stormtrooper, C-3PO. Stormtrooper is, I mean, you could be any trooper in here. It doesn't matter, again, as long as they got evasive maneuvers. Any trooper. Tebow actually is a pretty solid lead here, because at the end of every turn, that ally has, I don't remember, I think it's like a 50% chance-ish to gain 25% turn meter. I don't remember. And if you break it out like over the long run, the average is that every character gains 12.5% turn meter a turn. That's big. I mean, if you take 10 or 20 turns in the event, I don't know if you can get 20. I should count. But if you take 10 turns, then that means you have gained a net 125% turn meter, which means you've gained a free turn, right? That's like, take your character's speed and divide it by 0.88, 885, right? No, it's 0.875, sorry, to see how fast they are, because it's effectively increasing their speed considerably, like 12.5% or something. I mean, I'm talking out of my butt right now, but yeah, maths. I'm actually not bad at math, but I need to do some math. Math, I have to write it down. I don't math in my head. I math on paper, and then I'm okay. But so yeah, he's actually a rather effective leader in this raid, just because he gives people turn meter. It's really, really cool. C-3PO, now that he's been nerfed, is honestly not that effective of a character, and he never was, except that he could escape the battle. He does have evasive maneuvers, but that is his only ability, so he is kind of not as useful. I mean, he does not have an AoE, which is handy when you can remove some damage from the target and target A and kill target B at the same time. Like, if you're actually trying to micromanage your points, you know, let's say Shadow Trooper has 8 stacks on him of damage, and then Commander has 25, you know, instead of just basicing one, you might AoE, kill one, and damage the other. Or if they're both like at 10, right? Just kill them both and save a turn. No, he can't do that. But a lot of other characters have evasive maneuvers and an AoE that can. So he's actually not that effective, but he's probably a high relic character, which means for many people, if you got a CLS squad, which means you've got him, so absolutely you should use him. He also, of course, synergizes really, really well with Ewoks, which is why I've got him with Tebow, because some of his uniques will increase Tebow's stats. I think potency goes up. I think tenacity goes up. I think critical damage, I don't remember. I'd have to go reread C-3PO's kit. But he absolutely synergizes well, raising some of those stats, which improve your team's viability. All right, 2 more runs. Now in this one, we've got Starck for his leadership here. He does gain bonus 30% offense. So make sure he's got about 7,000 base offense if you can. And then that 30% will take you up over 10,000. Or, again, do the math, do the numbers, right? Take his offense value, multiply by 1.3, make sure you're hitting 10. Or 6,000 or whatever the next threshold is that you can aim for. Poplu has evasive maneuvers, so that's why he's in there. And then Scout, no, he has the hasty repair, the hasty repair, which is okay, it's just free points. And It does spam evasion. And then Ewok Scout, similar to C-3PO, he's not that good. He's a lot worse, in fact, than C-3PO because he only has one ability, but that one ability is, I believe, Forest Friends. Yep, right there it is, Forest Friends. And Forest Friends puts evasion on himself. I think it's a single target evasion. So it's something. It's not great, but it's something, right? And every little bit matters. So Poplu spams Hasty Repairs, Ewok Scout spams Forest Friends, and then Starck just basics. Now, another trick that I don't see people really talk about is, like, in this situation, don't forget that every time the trooper uses their basic, they consume all of their stacks of evade. So if an enemy target is at, like, 20 damage or less, and you can one-shot them without consuming the evade, and 20 is probably too high. If they're like under 10, use a basic, or not a basic. Wow, Gerbil, can you screw this up even more? What I'm trying to say is, if your enemy is killable with an AoE or a non-basic, then do that. Kill them with the non-basic on your trooper so that they keep their stacks of evade, and you use it on the next round to hit somebody who's at full health, right? That was really, really not that tricky to say. In other words, don't consume the stacks of evade if you don't have to. Wow. I'm really, really, like, thinking about my flight here in a little bit. I got to leave my house in about 30 minutes, so just enough time to finish recording here. Okay, not too bad. I mean, 1.58 with Poplu and Scout. That's not bad, but it's not amazing. All right, final one. Hara, Captain Rex, Jedi Knight Luke, and ugh! We got sound. Okay, here we go. Hara, Captain Rex, Jedi Knight Luke, last run. So why Hara? So Hera's leadership, obviously being Phoenix, she's going to grant, I think it's 20% turn meter, I can't recall, it's either 20 or 40% turn meter, to any Phoenix ally when they use a special. So while you're not likely to use any specials on Captain Rex, you might use that AoE, you might try to kill off an enemy with Get Alongside that one, because I think all three of these characters have it, I don't recall. But regardless, you use that special, especially in the lower tiers, like tiers 1, 2, 3, you can absolutely kill off enemies with Get Alongside that one. So you spam that on all three characters and you gain a lot more turn meter. The other one, I'm trying to remember the name of it, the one that goes pew, 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 across like the AoE damage. Again, on lower tiers, you can use that, kill off both of the enemies on the opening wave, just 1, 2, 3. It's pretty quick, it's pretty efficient, and it gives you that bonus turn meter. So it's kind of nice. Now, the turn meter, I sincerely believe, is more effective, more useful than Jedi Knight Luke's leadership. And just as a reminder, in this raid, he is a rebel. People have asked, does he also count as a Jedi? I don't think so, but I don't know, and I haven't tested it. So, his leadership would give you some bonus, I think 15% bonus critical chance and critical damage. So on lower tiers with lower level characters, that might be really, really useful. But by the time you get up to the tier 5, 6 level, you're already talking high relic characters, relic 7, relic 8, whatever. That's not really that helpful because odds are all of your characters have already hit the maximum threshold for the ability reduction from critical chance, and then the bonus turn meter from critical damage. So you've probably already hit those, so instead go for the turn meter advantage benefit through Hera's leadership if you can. So yeah, that's it, folks. That's my 25-minute rapid run. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it. I'll post this again next week with updates and new levels, and we'll just see together if we can get to 20 million damage. All right, folks, you know what to do. Please hit that like button down below. I do appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button down below. And the next time you see me, if you see me before 2024, I'll be recording from America. So I don't know what times I'll be posting. I don't know about the production quality, but I'll do my best. All right. Thank you so much. I'll let this play. And I will see you all later on the holotables. Oh, you're probably wondering, hey, why are my team still alive right now? See, the enemies are enraged. It's the basic. Faction ability. Every time rebels use a basic, they heal. Eventually they gain stacks of shield. You get enough of those, you can survive 3, 4, maybe even 5 hits from enrage. Alright, that's it. I'll catch you later. Take care, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye. Pew, pew, pew. Score? Ah, there we go. It's not so bad. It's not amazing.